The Beach FM Business Lunch Show, brought to you by PlaceMakers Kapiti Horowhenua. Together we're building New Zealand.
Welcome back to the Business Lunch Show on Beach FM 106.3. Now let's welcome to the show Judy Sanson from Molen, Dutch Windmill in Foxton. G'day, Judy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very, very good. How are you doing today?
Really well, thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Now, the windmill is something that we might have seen from a distance driving past on State Highway 1, or we might have stopped by. Myself, I've been up close and personal with it, and I think it's great. But a lot of people might not know it is there. So how did it come to be? What's a bit of the history of the windmill in Foxton?
Okay, so the history is back in 1990, that's when the plan was first hatched, and one of the driving forces behind the plan was my dad, who's John Langham. He's a Dutch immigrant. He came to New Zealand in the 1950s along with lots of other Dutch immigrants, and small towns were dying, as shops closed, businesses closed. So it was, how do we keep small town alive, like drawing people off the highway? So the idea about putting a Dutch windmill in Foxton to draw people off the highway seems a little bit crazy, but we're quite flat in Foxton. We have lots of wind, and when you look to the west, it looks a little bit like Holland with cows and paddocks, and so it sort of really fit. And then there was another man, Dirk Van Til, who was he was trying to grow tulips in Foxton. That sort of ended up not going forward, so he was part of that initial plan as well. And so that's when the plan was hatched. They went to the council and they said, "What do you think of this?" And they said, "Great idea. Here's some land. You build it." So we move on 13 years, 2003, and that's when the windmill was officially opened. It's based on a 17th century Dutch windmill, so it's a full working mill. So when you look on the outside, you may not think there's much to it, but you go up the stairs to this third floor and you see all the wood and the workings, and it's just amazing. It's all that technology from the 17th century. It was built from a lot of hard work by people donating their time from the community, materials, just lots of determination and hard work. There's a man, Cor Slobby. He was living at Foxton Beach, and he was a infrastructure type manager initially when he was still working, and so he basically drove the project as far as the build, and I suppose my dad was more the driver and sort of looking for funding, making sure applications were put in, and sort of the drive behind it. But there was a whole lot of people from the Foxton community and around that really helped get the mill to what it is today. So
fantastic.
Yeah. So 2003 it opened its doors, and it was built to bring tourists off the main highway, which it does, but also it actually produces, we mill flour, so we buy grain from the South Island, and we mill wheat, and we mill corn, and we mill spelt. So that's all milled there, and then we sell it through our shop downstairs there, and also we can also sell it around the countryside as well. So yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Outstanding. So the idea from 1990 to fruition in 2003 was really a labour of love, volunteer, charitable kind of basis, and that's what has set you up since.
Yes, that's right. So that's what got it there, and I remember it being a bit of a joke. There was my dad, he would have been in his probably maybe his 70s or something like that, early 70s when he was sort of involved.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of older men, and he was the youngest, and so they'd all get there and they'd be painting and they'd be helping, and it was just a really neat community project to see happen.
Outstanding. Now, the tourist industry has definitely been affected during this crazy times during the COVID pandemic. Now, how has it been for you guys? You would have had to shut up shop pretty straight away, and there's no real levels that you could have opened at, I'm guessing.
No, so we also run 2 cafes. So we're a charitable trust board, and we run 2 cafes. One is the Dutch Oven, which was open to support the mill and use the flour from the mill. We don't do that too much at the moment, but and then we've got Millside, which is in the Te Awa Horowhenua. So we actually had 21 staff, and we had to basically shut our doors. So, like lots of other people in the hospitality and tourism industry, it's been a worrying time, not only for us as a board, but also, staff. So it was really a pretty stressful time. So we were able to start to reopen, I think at level 3, we started to do takeaway coffee, and then at level 2, we were able to open the Windmill for people, one at a time to buy groceries and things like that. So we actually did really notice a big uptake on some of our grocery products, and flour, for example, is when the shutdown first was sort of being talked about, and then once people came back out, people perhaps trying new things and baking bread and seeing what's on their doorstep. So
yeah, well, we definitely saw the toilet paper fly off the shelves, but no one really talks about how scarce flour was during that time. Everybody became a baker, didn't they?
They did. Yeah, they did. So I think as much as it's been a scary time, let's look at the positive and look at the positive of people that have perhaps been going overseas for their holidays in the winter time, then they couldn't. So let's have a look at what's on our doorstep. The number of people that have sort of said, we've always driven past, but never made the time to pull off and have a look. So we've had the people pulling off and having a look. So it's actually been okay. We've reduced the number of days that we're open just because we didn't want to overcommit, and it has been okay. It's positive. People are finding us, which is great. And then, like with the flour too, we don't have an online shop at the moment, but it's very close to becoming live. So that means spread the word, and once people have popped in and bought their bag of flour, now they'll be able to buy it online, and we'll be able to ship it anywhere in New Zealand. So
fantastic. From Foxton to your doorstep. Outstanding. Yes. Well, going off that, as we ask all our people, how can we find you? How can we get in touch?
So we're on the main street in Foxton. So if you're driving past, come off State Highway 1 and stop into Main Street. You won't miss it. We're a very large building, and we've got a website. So it's foxtonwindmill.co.nz. So there's some information on there. We've got Facebook page, Instagram. So find us that way as well, and follow us and support us, because we are a charitable trust. We do employ locals, and it's a great thing for our little town. Very positive. And I would like to add too is that the Foxton Windmill was there in 2003, and so in 2017 the Te Awa Horowhenua opened, and that in there as well as a Dutch museum.
Of course.
And so because of the windmill being there, that made really good sense to have the Dutch Museum there. There's the Maori Museum in there as well, which talks about the whole Foxton area. It's just a really nice, relaxing space. There's a library through there. You can even hire rooms. So if you're having a meeting or having a little bit of a workshop or something like that, you can hire the rooms. We can do the catering. And yes, we can arrange tours. So there's lots to do here.
Absolutely.
I'd also like to add that we're a volunteer organisation as well. So we have volunteers that also help in our windmill. We have a retail shop on the bottom floor where we sell Dutch goods and meats from Waikanai Meats. So we have volunteers in that shop there, and we also, it's always great to have volunteers who may be looking to help with the running of the windmill or maintenance and that sort of thing. So if you've got that little bit of technical know-how and you want to give us a hand, then please contact us at the windmill. So we've got a phone number as well, which is 06 363 5601, or you can always email us, and our email address is on our website as well. So yeah, we'd love to have you come and help.
Fantastic. Judy, go. Hopefully people get in touch. Go help the volunteer, get involved. Thank you, Judy, for your time so much for today. I'll come and see you guys real soon.
Okay, thank you. Bye.